I think that that's so necessary, is so needed, because I know, like, growing up in church, I always felt like, we see people in church and they just kind of limit themselves to just like everything just being like church, 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 but not understanding that there's a call on our life too, in the marketplace. And, there's so many people in the body that I know God has called them to do different things, be entrepreneurs, and just do just more than just what they do at church. So I just love that, like, that's your mission and you push that so strong, and that's like what your brand is all about. Now, can you just, first of all, just tell us, how do you define marketplace ministry?
For me, marketplace ministry, I would say, is defined by you are the answer. You are the solution, right? And there is a merger. There doesn't have to be a divide. Unfortunately, we create this divide when it comes to, our religious backgrounds and such. We don't necessarily talk as much about what it is that we do outside of the church, However, if I were to go back to scripture in 1 Kings, we are introduced to the prophet Elijah, who was going across, and he ran into the widow woman. And of course, we know the widow woman says, prophet, 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 my husband has died. You knew him very well. He was amongst the prophets with you. And then she says, 2 of my sons are going to be taken as slaves because of all of the debt that was left behind once my husband had passed. And she asked him for help, right?
Yeah.
Now, you would expect that maybe because he's a prophet, he's a man of God, he would pray for her. But what he did was, by divine intelligence, he prophesied to her strategy. Right?
Yes.
Now, for us, we assume that in that moment, he would lay hands, he would prophesy, he would say, there would be multiple fish in your home, or you're going to see a multiplication of this or that. And then he proceeds to ask her, what is it that you have in your home? She says, just a little bit of oil. He tells her, first of all, go build an inventory.
Yes.
Go out and get jars of clay. From then, he says, once she collected all of the jars that she could find in her city, he tells her, lock yourself up in your home, turn your home into your institution, hire your sons as your workers, and take that little bit of oil, pour it into those jars. That becomes your inventory that you're going to resell. What you borrowed, you're going to use it now to pay off what you borrowed, and you're going to build your capital, which was go and sell the oil. Olive oil was a commodity at the time. Instead of just giving her a fix-it, instead of just praying for her, he realized the solution she needed was strategy, and she needed some sort of immediate result. So he taught her how to plan for her future and how to ensure that she would solidify her sons when it came to marketplace.